Are you afraid of fear? Well, I'm going to teach you in this video how to use it to your advantage and actually see it as a friend. Not sure how that's going to happen? Keep watching and you'll find out. I had an interesting experience yesterday. I am part of a mastermind group. One of the processes and activities that we did yesterday was we paired up and the other person got to represent what's holding me back. And for me personally, yesterday, as I looked into that, what was holding me back was me being mediocre, me being not willing to step fully into who I know I can be, who I know I'm capable of. And it was an interesting experience to have a person in front of me representing me as my, quote, lower self, and that person who I show up as because of fear. I show up as somebody who is not fully 100% because I'm afraid of what other people will think of me. Or maybe I'm afraid that if I step fully into that role, that somebody will judge me as maybe not ready or not 100% prepared to be in that role. But it was really interesting to have somebody standing in front of me representing that, and it was not pretty. It was not, didn't feel good, and it felt yucky, actually. And she was really good at showing up the way that I have been showing up as a mediocre person and not showing up 100%. And everywhere I went, I tried to push her out of the way and just walk past it, and she would run up and get in front of me. She was shoving me out of the way, and she was playing full out in being mediocre. And after trying to run away from her and shove her away for quite some time, probably a couple of minutes, and just push past her and tell her to leave me alone, I realized she is not going to leave me alone. She's going to be there. She's going to keep showing up until I face her. And so I turned around and I put my hands on her shoulders and I said, all right, look, this is not what I choose, and I'm done. And something that happened right there in that moment was a shift in energy. It shifted from, I don't like you, I don't want to be with you, I don't want you to show up in my life anymore, to thank you. Thank you for showing me who I have been and for showing me what it really looks like. And I was grateful for the person that I am now and the way that I've shown up. And I also made the choice to just cut that off and to quit trying to fight this amazing person inside of me who's gonna eventually win anyway because she's way more powerful than that mediocre self. So sometimes I hear people say that they want to conquer their fears. And I've even bought into that before. But what I learned from this experience yesterday, that it's not so much about conquering as it is creating a treaty. It's not about surrendering. It's not about dominating. It's about creating a treaty. It's finding gratitude in what has been and being content with it. I'm going to be sharing a video shortly over the next couple of weeks about being content, what it means to be content, and finding a contentment with what has already been created, and even being grateful for the fear, because that's how you know that there's an obstacle. That's how you know that there's something that's been holding you back. And so finding some gratitude and creating a treaty with that fear. And when you create a treaty, you get to use fear as leverage. You get to leverage the fear to really be able to show up as your highest and best self and find those blocks, find those obstacles that have been keeping you from being your best. You know, fear is so predictable. You know when it's going to show up. And when you can create a treaty and you can make friends with that fear, you can invite it to show up whenever you're not being at your best. And when you do feel that fear, when you invite it in and you feel it and you feel gratitude for it, identify where that fear is coming from. Like, what's the emotion that's causing it? Is it anger? Is it lack? Is it doubt about yourself? And what is the energy behind that emotion? What is the limiting belief? What is the thing that you believe about yourself or about the potential outcome that is so fearful that's creating that emotion? And once you identify that limiting belief, then all you have to do is just change the words. Just take that limiting belief, turn it into something that you do want to create and that you want to have as your outcome. And that's how you use fear to your advantage. When you feel fear, that's just an indicator that there's something lacking in you. There's a skill, there's something that you need to learn, or it is a doubt that you have about yourself or about the outcome. And once you identify that, it's just easy to switch that around and try on something new. So I'm going to share with you what some of the new beliefs that I chose about myself after I really saw that I had been showing up as a mediocre or a shadow version of that amazing, powerful person that resides inside of me. I get to be me. I get to be the grandest version of me, and I am excited to show up as the authentic me. So those are some of the new beliefs that I created rather than feeling like I was showing up mediocre. And that's all it takes, is just changing those beliefs. And just like we talked about with the Law of Attraction video a couple of weeks ago, those words is what brings whatever you want into creation. So did you learn something new about fear and using it to your advantage? Keep watching. We're going to have more videos. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I would love to see your comments.